Welcome back to Clear Talk. On this episode, we're going to cover how to host online workshops.
Is any market ever too saturated for you to start a business in?
And how to choose who gets to be in your life. We're going to go through a step-by-step criteria of how to know who you should let in your life and who gets to get close to you. By the way, let us know in the comments down below, how do you choose people to be in your life right now? Enjoy the show. Welcome back to Clear Talk, guys. I'm your host, Armin Chaffee, and this is my co-host,
Jeanette Oduro.
And this is the #1 show for coaches and entrepreneurs that need clarity. This is where we answer your questions, give you a ton, thousands of dollars worth of free coaching. If you just submit your questions at askarmin.com, what we do is we're going to answer them live, give you a ton of coaching perspective and advice on what you can do about your question or the problem you're stuck with or the goal that you have. If you just go to askarmin.com, submit your question, and then join us live every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, where we go live and answer your questions on the show, Clear Talk. So I'm excited. If you're on Facebook right now, by the way, then hit that share button so more people can hop on and have some fun with us. Leave a comment down below letting us know what your favorite part of this episode is so far as we go through it. And also, if you're on Instagram, send this as a DM to somebody so that they can hop on and watch the show with us. And if you're on YouTube, by the way, and you like content on how to grow your coaching business, how to succeed as an entrepreneur yourself, then hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell, because YouTube sometimes forgets to tell you that we are posting some really cool content. And we're going to bring to you on a weekly basis really valuable free content and trainings for you to succeed as well. So you excited for the show?
Always.
All right, cool.
Mondays are always a good time.
Mondays are always. Any highlights over your weekend or the last week?
Oh, highlights.
Something crazy?
Ooh, always good highlights. Honestly, I feel like every single week, because we are well, not everyone, but you guys may or may not know, we're doing our online reborn sessions week to week. This last week, so Saturday was session number 5.
Reborn is our online coaching program. It's like a life coaching program.
Yeah. Where
we help people pretty much get clear in their life, figure out what they want, go after it, get over all the mental, emotional blocks that comes in their way. And so we're at week 5 now?
Week 5, yeah. So time has gone by like this. I think during the session I was like, how are we already on the 5th week?
Yeah.
Like, it has been...
It's only 8 weeks.
It's only 8, and we're almost done. And it's just
I'm thinking, should I make it longer? It's just like...
I mean, we can talk about it, but it's just been so great. And, it comes back to the thing that we've been saying recently. It's like coaches need coaches, right? And it's like, as a coach, every time I'm on a session, I'm like, wow, I get another breakthrough. And it's like, breakthroughs never end. And it's that philosophy that, you're always growing, you're always developing, and every single circumstance is a chance to, learn something new and expand your consciousness. And I've been in Reborn how many times at this point? Maybe 4 or 5, but it's like every single time, it's like I learn something new, I take away something new, I break a new barrier, and it's like awesome. It's just, that would be one of my highlights. But yeah, Reborn.
This Saturday coming up is week 6.
Yeah.
In our program, I'm thinking of bringing Satish in.
Woo!
We can do a special Think and Grow Rich segment. So I'm going to invite the president of Think and Grow Rich to come and do a special training for us, an exclusive training on Think and Grow Rich, a deep dive for everyone in the Reborn program. So that's going to be exciting. Yeah, this week is going to be fun.
I'm amped. What about you? Any highlights for you?
So I started posting on Instagram, on my story. I don't know if you guys follow me. If you follow me on Instagram, I post I post every day. My team posts for me every day content that comes from Clear Talk. So you guys are getting my content. I just don't sit there actually making the posts and posting them. My whole team does that for me, helps me out with that. But my Instagram story, I don't even have the apps on my phone. I don't have apps on my phone. I don't have Facebook on. I don't have Instagram on. I don't have anything. I literally just have Slack to message my team, WhatsApp to message my family, Voxer to message my team again and my clients.
That's it.
Zoom. I could check, but
yeah,
there's literally nothing on it. I have Audible and stuff, but I don't have apps. And my life has become 100 times more productive because of that, and more peaceful because I'm not constantly, my brain isn't constantly stimulated with notifications. Yeah. So, you know, we have a marketing team meeting last week, and we're all like, so how can we improve our Instagram? And I got butchered. Like I'm saying, everyone's like, well,
we gave him.
Well, Armin, it's kind of the same thing all the time. You're always kind of posting the same things, and there's really no personality to you. You're just really a robot. You pretty much suck. And I'm like, okay.
I didn't say that.
Okay. All right. So what do I do? And they're all like, we've done research, and everyone's doing their homework, and they're like, listen, you need to start posting more. You know, people like your content, but they don't feel like they know you. And I'm like, well, of course they know me. And I look at my Instagram, I'm like, damn, this just looks like a team is posting for me the entire time. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta step it up. I gotta step up my game. And I'm like, I gotta post. So I had this dilemma. I'm like, if I download Instagram, the gram is gonna take me. Like, it's hard. I might want to scroll a little and see what's going on with other people's lives, because this is just what it's designed to do. There is billions of dollars put into hundreds of developers and geniuses in Instagram and in Facebook to design an algorithmic software that gets you addicted to using their stuff. Like, you have no chance. Zero chance. They have, even if you have willpower or discipline, they have found a way to break that as well, because that's their job. They're getting paid to get you on their platform. So there's no way you can go up against billions of dollars of R&D and hundreds of and thousands of developers. They're designing an app to get you addicted. So I'm sitting there like, okay, well, I'm going to do my best still. So I download the Instagram app, and I put it in a random folder in like the 4th page of that folder. So I have to like, it's not even in my main folder of apps where I use most of my stuff like WhatsApp and stuff. Because if you put it easier, like The Science of Habits is simple. You got to read a book called The Power of Habit. It's from Charles Duhigg. And I've read it like 3 times. It's so fascinating. Talking about how companies use the science of habits to get their customers addicted to their products.
Great book.
Amazing. Like, it gives you such insight on like how your brain works, and also how like you get used in marketing. So I'm like, if it's easy for me to access the Instagram app, and I don't even have Facebook because I just log on to my Facebook on my computer, and I check my stuff. I check my clients, my Facebook groups, and then I get off. I don't need it on my phone. I don't even have the Messenger app on my phone because like so many people message me on Messenger, it would distract me all day. Yeah. So I have to check like physically my Messenger app. So my Instagram app, I'm like, God, this like I can't get around this because I have to still post. I have to post things that are happening in my day every day and like show people a day in life, whatever. So I'm like, let me put it in the most inaccessible place possible. I put it in a random folder called Extras with like 60 apps in it or something. That's like crazy. And there's like 4th pages in, it's the last app. So I have to physically remember, like my brain doesn't build a habit to go through all that. Yeah. Although it still does. Your brain's smart. It's still like, it's easier to open up now, swipe. Yeah. But it's not right there in the middle where I'm always clicking. So now it's like I have to open up that app. I have to swipe, open, right? And then I go and do it. I'm like, it's harder. So it's hard to build a habit or addiction around it. So I open it up and then I do my thing. And then as soon as I post, like, it's just, they're so good at what they do. Now they have double Instagram story.
What do you mean?
On my Instagram, they have 1 line of Instagram stories and another line. So it shows me twice the amount of people who just posted.
Really?
Yeah, let me show you. What are you talking about? Look. Open, swipe. See? It's so far away. There's double now. Oh, you don't have that?
Mine doesn't look like that.
So mine has double. It has double the thing. So
maybe I need to upgrade.
So as I'm looking, it gives me twice the amount of opportunities to know who do I want to click to see what's going on.
That's intense.
So, and if you scroll, like, you see so many people. Everybody,
damn,
yeah.
Wow. And
like usually I get like a really nice picture, you know, on like my first like
swipe.
Oh my God. And it's like, it's just my thumb just does this. And I'm like, ah! And then, you know, I got to get off. And so I have spent like 5 or 10 minutes scrolling. But, you know, it's good because I follow a lot of influencers. And so I'm like engaging and talking to them. It's good, whatever. My point is the highlight of my weekend. It's my first time posting like physically. I know you guys saw like my physical transformation, my workout. Yeah. It was a little hard to adjust, but you know, it's cool. I think it's the least we could do. You know, like if you guys follow my content and you guys want to see what it's like, you know, I'm living my life every day, then I'm fine with that. You know, if it inspires you, yeah, whatever. That was my highlight.
Let us know if you like that.
If you guys like the
If you don't care about Armin's personal life, don't worry. We won't post it
anymore. I will gladly go back.
He won't post anymore.
To being a crab and only a turtle and coming out of my shell when I need to.
Yes.
And just focusing on because I like being focused, hyper focused. So I don't need to post every day. I don't. But if you guys like it, then sure. Anyways, we got good questions this
We
Monday?
do, yeah. Let's get to it.
Cool. Let's hop into the questions.
So our first question comes from Jessica Corey. She is one of our super fans.
Yeah.
So she asks, I want to create and facilitate online webinars regarding mental health support, advocacy, and education in the future. How do I sell tickets on Eventbrite or elsewhere for these webinars without feeling like a fraud? I have presentation and workshop facilitation experience under an employer or academic institution's name, but I've never provided content as an individual who is not affiliated with an agency.
Say that second half. The ding caught me off guard.
Got it.
What was the second part of the question? I've never done.
I have presentation and workshop facilitation experience under an employer or academic institution's name.
Okay.
But I've never provided content as an individual who is not affiliated with an agency.
Oh, you don't need an agency. You don't sell Eventbrite tickets. Okay, so here's what you do. Simple. You want to host an online a webinar would be more like an online workshop. A webinar is like just a presentation. So online workshops to teach people how to help them with their mental health.
Yeah, mental health support, advocacy, and
I
education.
would start with asking questions on your social media of who'd be interested in it. Like, hey, I'm thinking of putting together an online workshop series where I can help teach all the things that have helped me get over my mental illnesses or mental depression. And I want to share some things that have worked for me. If you have anything like this, you can, would you be interested? Like, let me know. And maybe you get people commenting below. Maybe they message you if it's more private, you know. And then you make sure people actually want to. So just because you want to do it doesn't mean you should. Like, I want to do a lot of things, you know, but it's like you got to validate that people want it. And so you got to go out there and ask questions like, you know, who here has dealt with a mental, you know, illness before? And you might get a bunch of people and then hit them up one by one. Like, hey, like if I did an online workshop sharing what helped me, would you be interested for free? And they'd be like, yeah. And so this is how you create market validation. So you get that. Then you just use Zoom. Like, honestly, just use Zoom. So you sign up for Zoom. It's like $20 a month, US, I think, or whatever. And then you create a Zoom meeting and you send it to a bunch of people. Up to 100 people can get on. And you just invite it to those people who said they're interested because you made a post. I would just do that. It was just a matter of social media posting and then getting people interested, sending them to Zoom, register. You might start with 5 people. That's more than 0, you know. So you start with 5 people and you get on Zoom, you do your thing. You just share your screen, maybe you do a slide, maybe you just talk, maybe you talk with them. That's it. And then the key here is this. Once you've helped them and they liked it, you get them to give you a testimonial, something like a video or text. You take that and you post about that so that other people that didn't show up to the Zoom will look at those testimonials and go, damn, I want some of this too. Like, that sounds cool.
Yep.
And that's it. You just repetitively do it. I'm oversimplifying it for the sake of the show, just to answer it. You know, but there's like an in-depth process to how to do this, like professionally, to really build a business. But that will cost you money to buy a program that can show you that. It's not free. So, you know, I have a program like that. But for now, if you want to just help, you can just post, make a Zoom account, and get a bunch of people on. That's pretty simple. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd follow up that with what Armin said is, you know, you don't need an affiliation. You don't need to stand behind an organization to share your message, expertise, and your story, right? Obviously, our viewers don't know you, but we have a very good sense of, you know, who you are, what you do, and what you've been through. So naturally, people can learn from you, especially if they've been in the same situation as you, but they're not going to know that until you start to share that online. So, hey, I've been through X, Y, and Z. I'm looking to help other people do the same. Does anybody would anybody be interested in opting in, like Armin said, right? Starting that dialogue so people know that it is something that you offer. I know you have the background even in just education. I know that that's a part of your story and your learning. So, you know, you don't need an institution to share your knowledge.
No, stand behind your results.
Yeah. And you have results.
When you're over it.
Yeah.
If you're over it, you stand behind your results.
Yes.
People will come and learn.
Absolutely. And it intrigues me that you said feeling like a fraud. I don't know why you would feel like a fraud at all, especially if you've gone through it yourself.
No, the only reason why you feel like a fraud is if you haven't got the result.
Yeah.
Get the result.
Yeah.
If you have the result, then snap that out. Snap that out of your mind. A fraud is someone who pretends to be something they're not. If you've accomplished what you're teaching, you are something that you are. You're not something that you're not. Okay, so if you've never done it before, that's not a feeling of fraudulent. You're just scared.
You're a beginner.
Yeah, it's a beginner, but that's normal to be fear of the unknown. Like you don't know what it's gonna be like. Will someone listen to me? You know, I think we talked about this in the last episode. Fraud,
we did, right?
This feeling of fraud, like
imposter syndrome. We touched on it.
See this crap?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we know she's gotten over a lot. Like
we do know.
We know her story, but because of this BS that the entire society makes you fraud, authentic. Yeah. What happens is someone like her who genuinely can help people is second guessing herself because she's sitting there thinking, well, I've never taught before. I've never done this before, so I'm a fraud if I do it. Well, then in that case, no one should do anything because no one's done it before they do it. Did everyone catch that? Just want to make sure everyone caught that. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so go and do it, and then you would have done it, and now you're not a fraud anymore. There you go. It's good.
We're excited to see that, Jess. Get to it.
Yeah, get to it.
Okay, question number 2. Do you think there are too many people trying to build an online fitness business and that it will get saturated in 5 to 6 years? That question is from Mina Morgus. Take a stab at it. Morgus.
Mina. Yeah.
Mina, yeah.
Oh, Morcos.
Morgus?
Yeah, we'll just say Mina. That's fine.
Mina, yes.
Mina Las Vegas. I don't know why I always think of that when I think of a 2-syllable name. Viva! Okay, so I'll tell you a story. One time, I was in network marketing. And I sat down with a prospect. Network marketing has shaped so much of like it's helped me a lot.
Me too.
Like it didn't actually make me any real money. Like let me get this straight.
I made money.
She made a little bit of money.
Just a bit, but I made money.
I was 18 and I made like $2.5 grand in 6 weeks of like hustling, but I was happy. That's what mattered more. Like $2.5 grand was more money than I would have made in 3 months of a minimum wage job at that time because I was making like $800 a month in my job. Yeah. So I'm not upset. Like I made money, but I was happy, which was more important. So, but it taught me so much, and it gave me belief in myself that something is possible. If I have an opportunity, I actually can achieve something bigger than just what everyone else is telling me I got to do. So that's what that was priceless. Like it might not have made me money. Like some people make money. I'm not saying you don't make money. Just for me, I made money, but like really the happiness was important to me. So I sat down with a prospect once, and I'm like, here's how the model works. I get you get people, you get people. Like, this is how it is. It's pretty much everyone's recruiting people, right? But you sell products, but you recruit people to sell products too. That's the whole point of the business. But that's like any business, by the way, because you're selling products and you're recruiting a team to help you sell products. Like, I'm growing a team here, and that's not a pyramid, but it is a pyramid. So I don't know what you're upset about. The whole capitalism model? Oh, I'm sorry. Go take it up with everyone who created capitalism. It's not network marketing. It's like every business, you grow a team and you sell products. What else is there? You don't sell products without a team, and you don't build a team without selling products.
Your life is a pyramid scheme.
Yeah. So I sat down with this guy, and this guy looks at me, and he was dead serious when he asked me when he said this to me, and I started laughing. He looked at me. He goes, well, I'm not interested. And I said, why? It sounds like a great opportunity. You can make money. People make money. Everyone makes money. You're selling a good product because we were selling health products back then, like a nutrition product. And he goes, well, because eventually everyone will be in it. So there'll be no one left to sign up. He actually was so dead serious when he said this to me. I didn't know if he was kidding. I was shocked that this person actually made that statement as if that's a problem. He goes, well, everyone is going to join. If this is the way it is, it makes no mathematical sense because eventually there'll be no one left to prospect. And I looked at him. I said, so you're afraid that you won't have enough people to sign up? And he goes, well, I'm just saying there won't be enough. It'll be saturated eventually. This model doesn't work. I'm like, this model doesn't work. It's a $13 billion company called Amway. For 100 years been doing this. This definitely must not work then. And so my ego came out, and he was like, well, it just doesn't make sense because everyone has to make money. And I'm like, hold on. You're good at math, clearly.
Clearly.
You know there's 7 billion people on the planet. I'm telling you there's only, let's say, 30,000 people in this company.
Yeah.
I understand you believe that's a small gap of a difference. What I'm telling you is by the time everyone's in, you'll probably be a billionaire if everyone joined. So I'm looking at him and he's like, I just don't like that the math doesn't make sense. It'll get saturated eventually. And I'm like, so you're afraid of something that could happen 100 years from now, so you won't start today? Because in the next 100 years is if you're not gonna. And he goes, and I can tell like he's like being flustered because I'm questioning him and he doesn't know how to answer because it sounds stupid.
Yeah.
And I actually laughed. I'm like, okay, man, I don't think this is for you. Don't worry about it. Like, stay in your job is cool. Like, I'm gonna go. And I left, and I just couldn't stop laughing in my car. I'm like, this person actually believed that a market, the whole world, will get saturated. I'm like, he must think no one has sex right now. He must think no one's giving birth right now.
Yeah.
He must believe that, like, 20 years from now, even if within the next 20 years from now, we signed up everybody, there's still a whole nother generation that grew 20 years old that year. You will never saturate the general public market, ever. Like, ever. Even to this, think about this. Everyone has a cell phone today, don't they?
Everybody.
You would say that's a saturated market.
Yeah.
Today, there are multi-billion-dollar companies still making millions of dollars of sales selling what? The thing that everyone has.
Yep.
Cell phones. Sometimes I think to myself, who are they selling to? Everyone has a cell phone.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there like, damn, there is always a new fresh market for everything. Because every year, someone turns 18 again. And they're an adult so they can buy stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's just such a wild, exaggerated issue to think about, that a market will be saturated. So let's go to online fitness business. First of all, I think you're right there. A lot of people are doing it. You know, someone would have mistaken me as a fitness trainer this past week because I'm posting about my training.
Oh, yeah?
I'm like, yo, upper chest is good. I'm just saying someone might be like, he's trying to start a business. I could. I mean, so the question is,
do you think there are too many people trying to build
in 5 to 6 years from now, okay,
that's going to be saturated in 5 to 6 years?
If you're thinking that there won't be enough people to make you $1 million a year to sell fitness training to, you're wrong. Because you don't need a lot of people to sign up. If you sell a $1,000 fitness program and you get 100 or whatever 1,000 people in, you make $1 million. 1,000 people is a slither of the entire population. In America alone, there's almost 400 million people, correct?
Yeah.
And what 70% of them suffer from obesity, like a large portion, more than half of them suffer from obesity. That's 400. So think about it. 400 people. Let's say half of them, 400 million people. Half of them, 200 million people.
Yeah.
I don't care how many fitness trainers in the world there is. There is not enough people to take care of 200 million people that are overweight. I don't care what you say. Like, there's not enough people. So, no, there will always be enough customers for you to make the money you need to make to build a sustainable lifestyle from building an online fitness training business. Now, will the market of trainers get saturated? I know that's what it's targeted towards. I just want to make sure you understand the customer side. No, there's always new customers. Like, to this day, I see people launching things that are already launched, but making millions of dollars with it. Like, I'm sitting there like, there are brand new companies. Freedom Mobile came out of nowhere. You would say it's saturated from Rogers and Bell and whatever, Simpatico and all the big companies. Freedom comes out, blows them out of the water. You would think social media is saturated. Everyone is already, 1/3, I learned this, 1/3 of web users, people who are on online, on the internet, are on Facebook.
Really?
They're on Facebook. 1/3. 30% of people on internet are on Facebook. They're using Facebook and social media. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I didn't think Facebook would be that high, but okay.
Actually, I read it in, I just recently read Jab, 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 Right Hook.
Okay, nice.
That was probably like 7 years old.
A few years ago. Yeah.
So my point is at that time, whatever. So even if it's 1/4 now, I don't care. My point is, you would say Facebook dominated the market. Well, then Instagram came out. No one cares anymore, right? Like they like now they Instagram. Now they have Twitter.
TikTok.
So TikTok, boom. Look at TikTok. Just start it.
Yeah.
My point is, this limiting belief that there might not be enough or there's too much or too little is just a limiting belief. It is never a real thing. And I'm talking about, it depends on what you're at. Like if I'm trying to build a fast food restaurant, like if I'm trying to sell burgers in a city where there's burger shops on every corner, maybe there's something to look at there. But still, can I not come in, get innovative, be different, steal the customer? Of course I can. So if your desire is strong enough, nothing can stop you. So with the online fitness trainer thing, they will get saturated. No, because in 5 to 6 years, and 5 years from now, every year, someone turned the age that they can be like a customer of yours. So the customer base, the population of customers, prospects, are multiplying exponentially every year. And you think that's multiplying exponentially with fitness trainers? No way. No way. Especially not good ones. So everyone could, and their mother could start a fitness training business, but 1 out of every 10 will probably actually build a real business and help people, right? That actually sell because they're willing to have all what it takes. But at that rate, 10% of people are succeeding. Over here, hundreds and hundreds of times of the exponential growth of people that need a fitness trainer is growing. That's why I still say to this day, we need more coaches. Like, you guys think everyone's coach. Not everyone's coach. Like, this much of the world is a coach. This much. Even with Tony, I remember when I started my coaching business, I'm like, why would anyone listen to me? Tony Robbins literally has tens of millions of people that know him around the world. He's the #1 coach in the world. He pretty much, I thought at the time he's figured it out. Now I realize he doesn't, because I'm like reading Think and Grow Rich. There's a lot more that we can learn. My point is, I could have sat there and be like, well, Tony Robbins already did it, so why should I be coach?
Yep.
Because he's helping everyone. And I had a moment. I thought to myself, the 12 people that might be willing to pay me $1,000 for coaching at the down the street at the event I'm about to go to don't even know who Tony Robbins is yet.
Yep.
I'm looking around like, my family hasn't paid Tony Robbins anything. I don't have friends that pay Tony Robbins anything. They've saw stuff, but no one's been his client yet. So it hit me really quickly. I'm like, man, he's just like touched the market of the world. Touched. And he's one of the greatest in the world. So I'm like, if he's this good at marketing, and he's only impacted 10 or 15 million people in 40 years. Yeah. Which is his stat. That's what he always says, right? I'm like, damn, there's a lot of market for me. Clearly, if he's the #1 in the world, and he only had 10 million people out of 8 billion, I'm good. Like, there's enough opportunity for everybody to win. So, answer is no. It won't get saturated. You won't lose opportunity. There's always going to be enough people. Just get started and stop worrying about anything else. There are people every day starting things that are already started and making millions of dollars from it. Yeah. So,
in terms of market saturation, I definitely think it's a myth based on a couple different things. One of them, and Armin said it, and I was like, yeah, that's the word I was going to say, is innovation. Companies and individuals are innovating things every day, every minute. There are teams in companies dedicated to innovation. So everything is going to change, Obviously, we just experienced COVID. Things changed like this. So everything in every single industry is changing in front of your eyes all the time. So don't think that because this is the way it is today is going to be the way it's going to be in 5 to 6 years. If you genuinely think that, you should be nervous because things are going to be innovating.
Always changing.
Like this, lightning speed. Fast, fast, fast. So that's one thing. Another is proximity, right? You could know a few online trainers, but a lot of people don't have a trainer who they can contact and go to. They're looking for trainers. Most times, and especially in the health and fitness industry, there are new things, like I said, being brought up every single day. New diets, new incentives, like intermittent fasting was a thing that people I would say, started really catching up to like a year or 2, 3, 4 years ago. Like, some people, you could still walk on the street and say, do you know what intermittent fasting is? And they would say no. They would say not even a little bit. Or keto diets, or, calisthenic workouts. Like, there's so many variants. Yeah. And places where you can go, just in any industry, but just in health and fitness alone, that will bring you the market that wants to get your products and services, right? And the thing about even coaches, not even fitness coaches, but just coaches in general, because that's who we talk to. Like, you could have, like in fitness and health and wellness, there's literally so many places you can go, and there's people looking for you in each niche area. Like, if Mina, you're a woman. Just with female fitness, you can focus on 10 to 15 different things that 10 to 15 different women want to see in their bodies. From mindset to nutrition to hormonal health, to actually their outside appearance, what their body looks like. Like, there's so many places where you can go. So it's absolutely a limiting belief that you think that you can't build an online fitness business and that it's going to be saturated in 5 to 6 years. It's never going to get there. It's just not. You know, you're going to be able to attract certain people that the other online trainer isn't going to have. You're going to learn things in your experience where you can help people in a way that, you know, not Mina, but Sheena, the online trainer, can't do.
Like a good example is what we do in speaking at clients. It's not new to build an online presentation, run traffic to it, grow an audience. Like this has been done over and over again for decades. At least for the last 2 decades when the internet got popular. In the last 10 years alone.
Yeah.
I think I'm still in the beginning of it.
Absolutely.
But I have my own way of teaching it. I have my own methodologies, my own original concept or angles with the same method. You see what I'm saying? So, is my market saturated? Sure. I could have looked at the internet and be like, well, all these big guys have taken the market for building an online business. And I'm like, bah, I'm on a weekly basis getting people that come into my business as prospects that are like, I've never even thought about building a funnel. I've never even thought about building a presentation. Never. I'm like, there's people all around the world still asking for this. And if I'm one more person in the market that can offer it as a solution, I'm helping out with the overall good of the world, because there's the people that you see, they can't help everybody. That's how I looked at it. I'm like, Tony Robbins can't help everybody. Mm-hmm. Right?
Absolutely.
So I'm like, my job is to go and help everybody I can help. And if everyone could help everyone they can help, then eventually maybe everyone gets helped. But
I love that.
Even then,
there's still going to be more.
Every day, someone turns 18 around the world.
Yes.
And they're an adult again, and they're going to need help.
Yes.
Every day. Like, you will never catch up to the speed at which the population is growing. Ever. Like, it's just not. I don't know if it's possible. It's just mathematically.
It's so far away. Don't
like,
worry about
ridiculous.
that.
Yeah. So, moral of the story, no, we don't believe that it's getting saturated. Saturation is a myth. Saturation in our market is a myth. Do we have any comments online so we can talk about?
Yes.
Yeah,
So on my Instagram, Coach Krish says this is her favorite show.
Okay.
Thanks, Coach Krish.
By the way, online trainer Coach Krish, you know, killing the odds again in the myth. So
no, absolutely. She
started a business recently,
She
right?
started her coaching business online. Launched it maybe a couple of months ago.
A year ago, she told me about it.
A year ago is when she came
Rich.
to our show. Coach Krish is one of our ESSA graduates. She's been a reborn student, and she's also been to WOW, Weekend of Wealth, our TGR, or Think and Grow Rich, like introductory course, would you call it? Yeah. So last year, she was conceptualizing in her mind, building this online business.
Yeah.
And then as COVID hit, she launched it. She quit her job, her full-time job, to be an online fitness trainer. So
Dedication.
Absolutely, you can start it, Mina. Don't wait.
Yeah.
She's doing great. How about that? Coach Krish, if you need fitness training, contact Coach Krish with a K.
Oh my God, Daniel Bateman.
Oh,
Daniel,
Dan!
what you say, man?
Hi, Daniel Bateman. We also got a couple more
He's laughing
hellos.
because I'm giving a FEMA example.
We've got a couple more examples. Hi, Tiff. Hi, Jude. And yes, hi, Krish. So what's Armin's Instagram saying?
What's happening there?
Mina says yes. English with
you're on.
Sasha.
Oh.
Says hi.
Okay. Mina, great. I'm glad you're on and get your question live answered.
Mina says good point and also says nah, I'm a man, laughing myself.
What? Say it again?
Nah, I'm a man.
Okay, yes. Our bad. I was thinking about that when you said it because dude, there's names all around the world.
Oh, he's a guy?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
right.
Mina. I apologize.
That's
I
right.
apologize.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's cultures are different, eh? In like Western culture, some names you'll think it's a woman because of conditioning.
Name? Okay, yeah.
So it's no big deal. But that is actually a man's name also in Middle Eastern culture.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
no big deal.
Mina.
Anyways,
Him.
you got the point.
Yeah.
Don't stop. Okay. It's a myth. So I'm glad you're on to see you got your question answered live.
So Lisa says hi.
Okay.
That's about it.
Cool.
So for Facebook, we have Jessica Corey. Jessica Corey said you're absolutely right with a smiley face.
Good.
Duh.
Glad she's on
Just
as well.
kidding. Just kidding.
And then we have Lori Thompson. Lori Thompson said, "Are you socially distancing yourself with a smiley face?"
Was that? Are you talking about me and her?
Yeah.
The answer is obvious. So I'll leave that answer to come up in your own brain.
And then she said, "Good information."
Good information. Okay, cool.
Thanks.
Glad everyone's loving it.
And
What
then
else?
Melissa Finn said, "Hi Armin and Jeanette, miss you both big time."
Hey,
Cool.
Melissa. How
Hey,
are
Melissa.
ya?
Man.
You're launching something soon.
No, she launched it.
She launched it.
I'm wondering how it's went. Let me know in the comments how the leadership for students went online.
Yeah.
Let me know how that worked out.
She's another ESSA grad, so good job, Melissa. Way to launch.
I think you're gonna laugh to this one.
Which is?
Lori Thompson said, "Are you in Amway now?"
No. I was 17. I got prospected by Amway. They changed my life because they showed me that entrepreneurship exists for an average kid like me. Yeah, if there's one thing network marketing did for me is it made me think bigger about myself. You know, that's it. It introduced me to personal development.
Yep.
And I fell in love with speaking then.
Yep.
And then I just thought differently about myself. I thought I have to figure it out by going through the system. And when network marketing came and said, no, you can learn skills and get whatever you want in life, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I believed it. So I'm like, that sounds way better than trying to, make it in the world. So I'm like, let's do that. So it sparked the inspiration of my entrepreneurship. So
same here. Good. It was actually interesting. I was thinking about it, and I had a small breakthrough thinking about, when we were in network marketing and having gone to my first convention. And I realized this when we were doing an event last year. I was like, what I love about personal development is events. And like I went to this event when I was 19, and it was a personal development seminar. There was Darren Hardy spoke, Gary Vaynerchuk spoke. I don't know why I said it like that. Vaynerchuk. I said it weird. But anyway, so like there was a few different idols or people who I looked up to, mentors who spoke at that event. And I was like, wow, like this is crazy. I'm taking notes. And then it was literally after that point that I started to be like, I wouldn't say a course junkie, but I started to go out of my way to take more courses, be in more presentations, be in more experiences like that. And then it wasn't until I was on your team, sitting in the back of the room and being like, this is what I love. This is what I want to do forever.
And then coronavirus came in and killed that. No more events. Did you hear that the NBA is playing?
Why'd you say it
but
like
you
that?
can zoom in and watch?
Yeah.
You can't even go to the NBA games anymore.
It's sad. It's sad,
It's a
but
screen.
Yeah.
You want to... I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but you want to go watch a movie called Transcendence. By the end of the movie, he like takes his soul into computers and he's everywhere. It's kind of like that now. We're just on computers everywhere.
I haven't seen that. Why'd you have to go there, Armin?
You have another comment from
Yo, on
Melissa
YouTube,
Finn.
I might just zoom in on my face when I do this.
Melissa Finn, Melissa Finn gave your comment. She said your energy is so phenomenal. So yeah, that's all the comments for Facebook.
Thanks, Melissa. All right, let's move on to the next question.
Yeah.
So, this question is from Amelia R. Should I pick people to be in my life based on how similar they are to me or how different? So, for example, they make up my weaknesses or they have different worldviews.
What do you think?
Ooh. So,
hold on. Should I pick people to be in my life based on how similar they are to me?
Or how different?
Or how different?
So they make up weaknesses.
I got a
or
short
they make
answer
up
for you on this one.
worldviews.
I got a short answer for you on
What?
this one.
Well, then you go first. What are you going to say?
I'll just go, period. I don't think there's much you can say after what I'm about to say.
Just go.
All right. You pick people to be in your life based on their ability to help you achieve your goals in life. They're a part of your purpose of what you want to achieve in your life and who you want to become is the only reason they should be in your life. If they do not contribute to that, you are killing your time spending it with them and you're wasting your time distracted by people that have nothing to do with where you want to get to in life. If I want to be a professional basketball player, I'm only going to surround myself with family's family. That doesn't count. If I'm going to choose friends, I want to choose friends that either encourage that dream and actually help me get there, or friends that are doing something similar to me, like going towards the goal, so we can bounce off each other and work together and help each other out. This is not going to be a very popular response because the very conditioning of how we grow up in society is just to choose friends randomly or choose friends that you like or that you are like or you share similar interests or you're different or it's based on variables that have zero to do with your overall life becoming good.
Yeah.
Like it makes zero sense. The way you pick your friends is going to determine your future because like who you hang around with and listen to and who influences you, this will heavily influence who you become. And if you don't believe me, I mean, like, look around you now, who you hang out with, and look at how you are. Like, look at the similarities, the differences, where you're at in life. Generally, you'll find out that, someone who makes a certain level of income bracket with their friends, usually they make around the same amount. You'll never find someone making $1 million a year hanging out with someone who's making $50,000 a year. It just doesn't work unless they're family or family friends, and that's an exception because you don't really choose that. You just they're there, But when you're picking, like, who you really want to spend your time with, you choose. You generally don't find someone who's very driven in life and focused and someone who's completely depressed and just playing video games all day. You just don't find them together. birds of a feather flock together. This is very important to understand. So don't choose your friends on if you like them or not. Likability is important. That's rapport. That means you guys connect. I'm not saying choose friends that you don't like, but you have to have harmony, right? However that harmony is created. But the ultimate way you choose who you want to be friends with, like who you want in your life, is and who you date and who you spend your time with, even in family, is are they helping you go towards your goal? Are they productive towards helping you towards your goal? And can you do more for them? Can you give back to them so you don't just take? And that creates a good relationship with people that are in your life. So I think you're thinking about this all wrong. You shouldn't be thinking about whether you're different or the same. And then you're like, it's just irritating when I think about this because it's like none of us are taught this growing up. And think bigger, our student leadership program. We have an entire worksheet on how to choose your friends. We have a qualification process. It was 4 questions. I don't remember them off the top of my head. It was like, do they help you? Do they have their own goals?
Yes.
Do they have any bad habits that you don't like? Yeah, they're a positive person in life.
Yeah.
If they're a negative person, don't hang around with them. End of story. Second thing was, do they have any bad habits that you don't like? Because even if you don't do it with them, if they smoke and you don't, eventually they'll encourage you subconsciously to do something bad like that. You might not smoke, you might start drinking, you might do this, you might do that. You must understand you are underestimating the power of influence. If you think you just hang out with a bunch of friends who have bad habits and you're never going to do them. And if you do, then I have to question your intelligence. Like, why are you hanging out with people that you don't even agree with what they're doing? Like, what are you getting from that? Right? So that's the second thing. Third thing was, like, do they have their own goals in life? If they don't have their own goals, how are you going to ever expect them to love you for having goals and encourage you? They're going to be resentful and jealous. That's what happens. A person who's aimless in life and someone who's very directive and definite, they're gonna bounce heads because one's intimidated by the other. One is annoyed by the other. It's just going to happen. And the last thing was, what was it? The last one was...
We did, are they positive?
Are they positive? Do they have bad habits? Do they have their own goals?
Yes.
And I think it was like, do they encourage your goals as well?
Something like that. Something along all those lines.
But that all is a qualification for, are they productive for you? So, okay, I'm going to say something. Some of you in relationships need to hear this. Some of you with best friends need to hear this. And some of you even with family need to hear this. Just because someone is good to you doesn't mean they're good for you. They might be good to you. You might be with a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, maybe a best friend that's good to you. They've never done anything wrong. Maybe they are very positive. Maybe they have their own struggles, but they never bring it to you. Maybe they're just a really down person, but they don't let that affect you. Maybe they're good to you. Maybe they've gone the extra mile. Maybe they've done things for you. This doesn't justify if you know deep down inside they're not good for you. And good for you meaning, on a very deep level, you two are different. And different in a way where it hurts your future. Different in terms of habits are different. Thinking is different. Faith in yourself is different. Confidence levels are different. Just because they're good to you doesn't mean that they're good for you. And this is hard to swallow because that means a lot of people in our life can't be around. That we have to choose to not be with them. Because most people, if you are... I'm still 5 years into I'm still 10 years into growing, 5 years into personal development, and 8 years into personal development. But even to this day, I still have to make choices is this person good to me or good for me? And, if they're bad to me, it's easier, right? You just want to get rid of them. I don't want to be with you. But if they're good to you, you start justifying to keep them around. Mm-hmm. And I've come to the conclusion, I just got to ask myself, are they good for me? For me. Are they good for me and who I want to become, what I want to accomplish in life? Or is this someone that can actually help me get there? Are they going to be a part of that kind of thinking? Or is it just we're so different and we're pretending, and I'm pretending like it's okay just because they're good to me and we're having fun all the time and we're happy. Mm-hmm. But just because you're happy doesn't mean it's going to help you achieve your goals. So remember that. Just because someone's good to you doesn't mean they're good for you. And you got to come up with those conclusions of the people in your life. Are they good for you? And we based off those qualifications. Are they positive people? Do they have their own goal? Do they encourage your goal? And do they have any bad habits that you don't like? And just because if some of you are listening, that's a little extreme, Armin, listen, it's not for everybody. Not everybody can do what I'm going to do. Not everybody can get to a massive level of success in life. And that costs there's sacrifices to that. So if you don't like it, then don't aim for a high goal. Don't aim for a high goal, because it will require of you to make hard decisions. And one of those hard decisions is this person good for me? And if you love them, if they're good to you, and there's no reason why you should let them go, you might still have to do it because they're not good for you.
Yep.
And it's end of story. And it's like, if you don't have the gut to make those decisions, you won't have what it takes to get to a very big place in life. You just won't, because when it comes down to pushing to shove and like making a decision at crossroads, you'll make the wrong choice because you let your emotion or your weakness it's not weakness, just you've let the justification of this person or whatever it is take you. And so I'm just being real with you, okay? If they're not good for you, just don't bring them in. How do you know if they're good for you? Do they help you achieve you becoming who you want to become in life? And if they don't, they're a waste of your time. This is how I answer it. I don't know if there's anything more that can be said on that. It's pretty simple.
Well, from my perspective, I would break it up because you asked a couple different things, right? So if you want to talk about personal, let's talk personal. If you want to talk professional, let's talk professional. In terms of personal, I'm right there with Armin on everything that he said so far. You know, I think with friends and with your circle, there's a lot of times where, you know, things can get distorted, especially on social media nowadays. It's like you assume that someone's your Facebook friend, so they're your friend in real life. Like, not really, so to speak. And on one episode, Armin discussed like the walls of separation, right, between your relationship.
I do that training, and I go deep with that in Reborn.
But you mentioned it on the show.
Yeah.
That you only
long time ago.
Like
episode 4.
Yeah, a long time ago. But there's only a certain amount of people who are like, it's like acquaintance, and then they actually become your friend. They're like behind your circle, you know, and they get to get a little bit more of you. Like, not everybody is gonna get there in your life to like know how you think, how you feel, especially as a leader, if that's what you'd like to be, especially as a coach. You know, there's only certain people who you can allow in that bubble, and they have to be just as, you know, strong, just as willed, just as goal-oriented, just as positive as you. You know, if they're not, it's going to be 100% detrimental to your goal in the future. And, you know, something that I learned early on in my journey, especially once you start opening up the can of worms that is personal development and growth. And
it's not a can of worms.
A can of life fireworks. A can of fireworks. That's much better. That's more positive.
Don't ever call personal development a can of worms.
A can of
ever again.
A can of fireworks. Let's do that. I like that.
It ain't even a can. It's life.
True. So the huge
zoom in on my face
vessel.
Zoom back out. Go ahead.
So the huge vessel that is personal development, business development, whatever it is, you're going to start that journey and realize that, a lot of people are not helping me get towards that. And naturally, you're going to have to let them go. You're just going to have to disperse to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. And it's not...
I have a question. What if the person is good to you and you have to let them go, but you're in love with the person?
Doesn't matter.
How do you let someone go if you're in love with them? Like, what's your even term on being in love with someone?
You just leave. Like, it's... No, like...
He's trying to ask this because, like, we've had this conversation.
Really? I've had to leave people I loved. Like, absolutely. It hurts, but you got to keep it moving. Who's more important? Whose life is it?
If you're in love with the person, understand that you're in love because you made yourself in love. If you know that you're the one who put yourself in love with this person, then you can take yourself out of love with this person. They don't do it to you. You do it to yourself. You decide to think about them all day. You decide to sleep thinking about them. You decide to think about all the good things about them, reminisce on the memories with them. You decide to go and do things for them, and you decide. You choose to fall in love with the person. You don't fall in love with the figure of speech as if you fall, like you trip. You don't trip into love. You consciously make yourself fall in love. And the moment you decide that it's okay to fall in love is when you feel enough trust with the person, you feel like they won't hurt you and all this stuff, and which is very unintelligent because you're going to get hurt. You shouldn't base it off the fact that you trust them to not hurt you. You're going to get hurt. Like, you have to get hurt. Things have to happen. And you grow from that. But when your fear is gone, you decide now it's time to fall in love. And so if you put yourself in love, you can put yourself out of love. And so how do you do that? The same way you fell in love, just do the reverse process. You sit there and you think about all the reasons why they're not good for you, not all the reasons they are good to you for. You think about all the things that you could be doing without them. You think differently about them. And your perspective on them changes, and that changes your entire feeling towards them, and then you move on. I've had memories, I can recall times when I'm sitting there and like my perspective of a person changed. And I'm just looking at them, I'm like, I have no love anymore. I don't like. I love the person as a human, but I'm like, I'm not attached to them. I don't need anything anymore. And I'm saying, I'm like, damn, like perspective just changed my life because I looked at it differently. I thought about different things, and so they might be good to you, but when you think about how they're not good for you, when you think about how and why they're not good for you, your brain does all the work itself. It starts to fall out of love. It goes, well, I don't want this. By human nature, you're going to be drawn towards things that are going to make you feel good or make you feel like you're more secure. You're going to get what you want. So you're driven by your desire. If your desire starts to show that this person's in the way of it, it will be very easy to push them aside. And that's not cruel. That's not mean. That's not cold. That's necessary. And it should be fun. It should be good feeling because, someone might say, well, this person's so good to me. All right, but you're bad to yourself because you're with someone that's not good for you. So you got to be good to you first. The way you're good to you is by getting rid of things that are not good for you. End of story. Like, no one said it's easy. I'm just saying it's doable, and that's how you do it. So if you care enough, you'll do it. If you don't care enough, you stay. And you endure the consequences of staying. And you better be okay with that. Make sure you don't stay and complain. If you stay and complain, then you're genuinely an unintelligent person. But you're better than that. You just got to either stay and be good with it or leave and be okay with that. But there's no in between. The only person I don't understand is someone who doesn't make changes but also complains. Like, you made that decision. Be happy with it. Oh, but I don't want this. So change it. Oh, but I can't. So then die, because there is no other thing you can do now. You're just literally going to be sitting there in a life where you're feeling like you're dying every day. You might as well. What's the point of your life now? You either make a decision to properly live or you make a decision to be happy with what you got to live with. And obviously don't go actually die. Disclaimer. I'm just figure of speech, right? Because you're already feeling like death. So, does that answer your question, Isaiah? Yeah, what do you do if you're in love with the person? You just fall out of love. Like, don't pretend like emotions happen to you, my friends. You make them happen.
Yeah. I
can sit here right now and get myself angry. I could get myself loving someone. I can get myself excited. I can get myself tired. And it's like, that's just how emotions. And if you don't know how to manage emotions, you need to work with us in our Reborn program, because that's what we dive deep into. We go into emotions and how you actually make them happen in yourself and how you control them and train yourself to feel whatever you want to feel on demand. And so you understand how to control, person who's uneducated about what their emotions are and how to control them and how to guide them. That person will have a terrible time in life because they're going to be swayed by things that they think are spontaneous and random, but they're not.
Yeah.
So.
The highest form of self-love is being willing to make the hard decisions in your life that are serving towards, your future and your goal.
Highest form of self-love. Yeah. Setting a goal and doing whatever it takes to get there.
Yeah.
And you feel good about yourself. And when you love yourself on that level, you'll attract someone at that level that you can really love and trust, that they understand you and you understand them. Now you're, the way I fell out of love, I've been in love. The way I fell out of love, I got myself to fall out of love, was very simple. I thought to myself this: for as long as I'm with this person that isn't right for me, isn't good for me, I am taking away time from the person that is. And when I focused on that, I got more worried about staying than about what would happen if I left.
Yep.
So I'm like, screw this. I want to go and get myself prepared for the actual person that's right for me, for the person that's actually good for me. And if I could do that, I truly love myself, because I'm giving myself the chance to be with someone that's really supposed to be with me. So the only reason someone gets stuck in a relationship, whether it's friendship or intimate or whatever, is when you genuinely think that this is the best you can do and there's nothing better. And when you believe that, you're afraid to lose them. Yep. When you realize the real truth, which is that's total false belief. The real truth is there's always someone better. There's always something better for you. Even with opportunities, if you're losing this business or job, there's something better. When you realize that's the truth, there's always something better. And for as long as you're staying with this thing that's not up to your standards and you think this is the best you can do, really, it's really just what you're doing now and you can do better. When you realize that, now it just feels like you're not losing them, but really they're just losing you, because you're off to better things. It's not about ego at all. It's just a level of confidence. You don't need this person anymore. They might, if they don't think that way, maybe they think that way about you, by the way. Like you're saying there like it's just a one-way thing. They might be saying they're like, I can do better than this person. And you're saying they're thinking, oh, I don't want to lose you. Why? There's always someone better. The saturation for love, that market won't saturate either, don't worry. There's enough people in the world for you to go and make a good lifestyle with somebody, right? There's enough options, don't worry. Yeah. So just bringing it back to an end conclusion of end the show with, you should choose who's in your life based off if they're good for you, and if they're good for you if they help you get towards your goals in life, because that is a person to keep around. And so in this, I'm specifically talking about friends and intimate, but this can work with anything. Even people that people you bring in your team. Are they going to take you towards the goal or not? And take them out. It doesn't matter how good they are at what they do. If it's not good for the business, you leave. They leave. That's another version of it. Yeah. If someone's good at what they do, but they're not good for the business, they leave. Yeah. End of story. It's about what's good for you. What's good for it. Mm-hmm. It's not about are they good. Yeah. May I say this? Everyone I believe is good. I don't think anyone's bad. When I say that sometimes, I use the language because I know people understand what I mean. Yes, I don't really believe that everyone's bad. Mm-hmm. So the person I might leave in a relationship might be a good person, just not good for me. There's a distinction you have to make there that makes you very peaceful and understand that it's okay to make decisions to let go of things and people. End of story. Yep. So we should wrap this up now. We're at the 1 hour mark, yeah.
About to be, yeah.
Yeah, about to.
We started a little bit late. Yeah. So you want to keep going, or you want to finish off?
Yeah, let's talk. Let's talk the comments, and let's just questions. What's the next question, by the way? Terrence said, as a coach, how can I get myself out there more? Should I get a course on ads? We'll answer that on the next show. If you have me on Instagram, man, reach out to me, DM me. I could probably help you out before the next show, but I will answer for free, give you coaching on the next show. But let's follow up with all the questions on the comments on the thing so we can wrap it up, yeah?
Anything on Facebook?
So Facebook, Ashley said, cry it out. I guess on the comment where you have to leave. And then Ashley also said, but leave. Cry it out, but leave. Absolutely. Shane McQueen said...
Hold on, Ashley. You're talking about crying out? Were you saying crying when you leave?
Like you have, like I think you said something about like it might, or maybe I said like it might hurt, but like you have to go anyway. It's just like cry it out, but you have to leave.
If you're human, if you cry about it, because you genuinely like loved this person, that's fine. But you shouldn't sit there pitying yourself or pitying the decision. Don't cry like that, because then you'd miss the point. You're leaving because there's something better, and it's good for them and for you. It's a good decision because everybody wins. It might feel bad because it's hard to let go of anything you got used to. Mm-hmm. If I love my bed for a long time because I've slept with it and this bed feels good to me, but I gotta buy a new bed, I might get a little emotional. I've been attached to this bed for so long. Yeah, maybe I changed the color of my bedroom and I've been emotional with the color I've had. It's gonna be a little bit of like. This place, when you move from a house to another house, you're going to feel something. But I would never leave regretting, I did this, I should have... No. And I don't say they're crying, like, I lost them. No, they lost you. So don't cry it out. Like, just, tear up. Put on a nice, like, dramatic, cinematic movie song. Drop a tear, make yourself feel like you're in a movie, and then move on.
The way that I did it when I was, leaving my last love was... ultimately, like, seeing it as a mourning. I was like, you know what? This is a time that passed.
He died?
Not he died.
It's a mourning.
But not he, the situation. The situation died. And I'm like, you know what? I mourned it. I'm going to let it go. I had that moment, and I'm like, all right, let's get back to it, because there's a lot more in the future that's coming. So.
Okay, we're down to...
We're counting down.
From Shane McQueen. Shane McQueen said, I'm going to have to watch this from the beginning. Yeah. We have a comment from...
Yeah, Shane, this is a good one.
Cindy Suarez. Cindy Suarez said, this decision can be taken when you only have yourself and that other person in the relationship. When children are involved, it is more complicated than you are explaining at the moment.
Yeah, I'm talking about just two people. We're not talking about kids. It's a whole other question.
Yeah, families is a
whole other question. There's another process to that, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. There's just a bit different way of doing it. Yeah. What else we got? And how much time we got left on the Instagram? On the gram? 1 second? 1 minute? 1 second.
1 minute.
Yeah,
1 second.
50 seconds left.
All right, let's wrap it up. What are the comments we got?
Okay, that's it.
That's it?
That's it for Facebook.
All right, cool. Instagram, everyone's good on Instagram?
Yeah. Cool.
All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, by the way, if you're on YouTube right now, hit that subscribe button. If you like this episode, get you more content like this and that little notification bell so you can get notified when we post. If you're on Facebook, share this video if you thought it was helpful. Tag a friend down below. Maybe they need to hear this message. If you're on Instagram, thank you for joining us for all the comments and engagement. Make sure you go to askarmin.com to post your questions for us to answer live every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Did you have a good time on the show?
Yeah, always.
It's good. Great questions, by the way, guys. Bring them on. Keep bringing them on, but we'll keep answering them. We'll see you next time, next week on Monday, and we'll see you in the next episode. Love you guys so much, and make the rest of your week the best of your week.